What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Brewing Neighbor. I am Danny, and it's been about 6 years since my last brew. I kind of committed myself to too many hobbies and kind of left the craft in the dust, ended up getting rid of all of my stuff, and I'm getting back into it right here on the Brewing Neighbor. So in this video, I think I've ordered everything that I need with a few extra things that go above and beyond the essentials list that I remember being very helpful from yesteryear, if you will. We're going to go through all of that stuff, make sure I have everything that I need for an inaugural, I guess that counts, for an inaugural extract brew, getting back into it. I'm dusting off the rust from my craft, and I'm bringing you with me. So without any further ado, let's see what I ordered. Okay, so like I mentioned, I'm getting back into home brewing, and I didn't want to go overboard. I'm coming from 6 years ago, a 6.5 gallon brewery that was all grain. I gave everything away. When I sat down and started shopping for stuff to get back into it, I happened to find this kit here that had so much of what I needed in it that it just didn't make any other sense to piece together everything that's in here separately. So I think this would be a good place to start. This is a kit from Northern Brewer, and I will here in just a minute I will tell you why I picked this one. They have a few other different options, but the neat thing about this, so we got 15% off recipe kit. There's a recipe kit in this. And I thought, since kind of keeping up with the motif, the one that I picked is called Block Party Amber. So our first brew together is going to be an amber ale. And I think what I'm going to do here, since this is pretty tall, we got, check that out. There's our beer kit. We get our extract, grain bag. Oh yeah, US-05 yeast, hops, sugar. Cool. We'll get more into this on the next episode. This one, we're just unboxing, making sure I don't have to order anything that I forgot. So we'll put this to the side. That's going to be wonderful. We're not going to lose our instructions. Might need those. The guy's liable to forget something over 6 years. And then back in here, we have a, let's see here. Well, they both have a pre-drilled hole in it. I think one was supposed to be a fermenter, and one is supposed to be a bottling bucket, but it looks like they could be interchangeable. They're both 5 gallons with some cheat sheets on them. We got, check this out. We got some accessories. Cleaning brush. A spoon. It's a nice spoon. So we got 2 5-gallon buckets. It's a good seal. Okay, here's the rest of our stuff. Check that out. We set this aside. These are the same. Oh, nice. Yeah. So here, in this kit, comes with 60 count of bottle caps. In this bag we have a nozzle with 2 gaskets and the nut for the inside. We have an airlock. Oh, came with 2 of these. That's nice. A bottle capper. Looks like 4 foot of tubing. And a bottle wand. So that's not everything we need, but it's pretty close. I chose this. I wanted a little bit of flexibility to customize things on my own. One of the things missing from this that there are on the same Amazon page a different option for is you can buy the same kit with a brew kettle, and I think another one even had the measuring your gravity device. The name eludes me right now, but let me show you what we're doing for a brew kettle. This is what we're using for a brew kettle, and you can tell it's been used. It's a 22 quart, which is just 2 quarts over 5 gallons. So it might be a little bit tight, but the purpose of this exercise is I am trying to get back to where I was, which is going to be 6.5 gallons, all grain. I had this in my attic from previous brew setup. It's the only thing I have left behind from my previous experiences. My very first one, what got me started in this, probably 10, maybe more years ago, was I think I won it in a White Elephant gift exchange. It was that Mr. Beer thing. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it's like a 1, maybe 1.5 gallon extract brew. You just kind of cook it on your stove and ferment it, and it largely tastes like something you don't want to put in your mouth, but it'll get you into the process. Comment below if you remember Mr. Beer. Do I have that right? Anyway, there's our brew kettle. So that's pretty much almost everything that we need. Got some other goodies here to show you, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's set some of this stuff aside. So the kit comes with bottle caps and a bottle capper, but no bottles. So starting out here with two cases of brown bottles. That'll be pretty close to our final volume of our first brew. But these are nice and packaged. I believe these are also from Northern Brewer. But I like these because, I'll bring you in here in just a minute, has the nice dividing walls in there. And these should be logo free. So that'll get us pretty close for our first brew. I think what I'll do is I'll see if I can find a 6-pack of something that I like, and we'll keep those on hand. We'll get those sanitized for our first bottling day, just in case we need a little extra. Not a whole lot to talk about brown bottles, so let's move on. So this particular kit from Northern Brewer, the things that you are missing from it is a brew kettle and bottles. Everything else is here. So that's wonderful. Optionally, you can upgrade to their little nicer packages, and those also come with a recipe if you are interested. Now, the things that I remember from when I was previously into this that I decided to go ahead and get now, first off, is a bottle tower or drying rack. And what this is it's kind of dual function. When you sanitize your bottles, which you do every time, and you want to make sure that you do a good job of it, moisture is your problem. We're trying our best to control the environment of our beer because we want all the right bacteria and none of the wrong bacteria. And bacteria loves moisture. So what this is, and this is, I got the 90 bottle rack, which is a little excessive for 5 gallons, but it is my full intent to grow into this more as we go down the road. And you don't have to install all of these layers or vents. But what you got going on here is once you sanitize your bottles, you put them upside down and it allows them to drip dry. Whereas if you let them air dry right side up, that moisture is going to take an elongated time to get out of there. If there's any sediment from the soap, really hard water, that's all going to get down at the bottom. There's the stand. And I believe all of these as well fit intentionally a glass carboy. So additionally to glass bottles, you can dry out upside down glass carboys. So that's pretty cool. I consider this optional, but not for me. So that is going to be a game changer upon first bottling day. So that's one of the upgrades that I decided to run with. The second upgrade, and yes, this is how they shipped it. My UPS man and I had a good chuckle over this. He was like, "Oh, good thing it's not anything anybody wants to steal." And I was like, right? So what this is a secondary fermenter, okay? One of the things when I was purchasing stuff for the brewery that I wanted to make sure I did was I remembered when I first started secondary fermenting, I felt like my final product really got better. What this does is after your first fermentation in your primary fermenter, a lot of the stuff will settle down at the bottom. When the yeast kind of dies off a little bit, all that goes down there. Transfer it to a secondary fermenter, and that process happens again, giving your beer even more clarity. And I'm not entirely certain if it's going to affect flavor at all, but I wanted to have one right from the get-go. Man, they really got this sealed in there. Whew, maybe Saran wrap isn't the best choice, guys. All right, I gotta get scissors. There we go. So I got this kit, the Ale Pail, from brewerbestkits.com. I got this from Amazon. All the links to all this stuff is in the description below if anyone's interested. But I got this because it did come with the nicer airlock. This is my preferred style, but there's nothing wrong with the stuff that came with our Northern Brewer. All this does here is you fill it up to there with sanitizer, and this becomes the kind of dam, and that bubbles up, lets air out, does not let air in. So we got that. And this one is truly a secondary fermenter because it is tall and it does not have a hole in it. Both of these came installed with a hole. So these later down the road, as I expand my brewery, these can both be used as a bottling bucket. I'm not a huge fan of using this as a primary. It could hold moisture and bacteria, it could leak. We're gonna run with it, I'm not gonna complain about it too much. That's my only criticism so far. The other thing that was not included in the kit is, ooh, don't want to cut that. An auto siphon. So this is not essential if you're not going to, well, hang on a minute. Okay, there's question 1 on the channel. We'll have to read Northern Brewer's their directions because they did not include a siphon. They just had the bottling wand. So I'm curious to see what their instructions are for getting the wort out of the primary fermenter into the bottling bucket. If they have you use the tubing and the nozzle, we'll find that out together. I'll have to decide if we're going to follow the instructions or if I'm going to go against the instructions and use my new siphon. But regardless, what this does is this helps you prime it. That's the siphon. Liquid comes in. You connect this. Ideally, this is above where you're pouring it into, and then it gravity feeds to your secondary, and you leave this above where all your sediment is. So this is kind of a gravity filtration system. Works really well. We will use this both when transferring from the primary to secondary fermenter and transferring from the secondary fermenter to the bottling bucket. Oop, I broke it. So I wanted to get that. And I got the extra tall one for one day when we have a 6.5 gallon brewery. And it comes with, I like this one. This is also from that same company, brewersbetter.com. Oh, it came with I didn't know that it came with this. Cool. And came with a nice clippity-doo-dah to go on the side of the bucket. I've made a terrible mess out of my house, but I have one more thing to show you. We need a thermometer. Whoa. So I got this one. I'm a big fan of ThermoPro. They make all of my barbecue thermometers and instant read thermometers and a few indoor-outdoor thermometers. But this is a candy thermometer. Clips on the side of your kettle. And then you just leave it up there. Whoop. And you can monitor if you need to expand, if you need to increase or decrease your temperature. This one's got a couple different positions for where you're standing. I have never had any problems with ThermoPro being off on temperature, and I like a little bit of brand loyalty, so they have my loyalty. I think that's everything. So let's just run through this together. We have the brew kettle. We have the recipe. Hang on. I believe this was supposed to come with sanitizer. That's very important. We have sugar, premium hops. It came with stickers for the beer. That's clutch. Grains. Extract malt. Or yeast. Hops. Corn sugar. I thought I read that it was supposed to come with sanitizer. Hang on. It did. It was in the other package with the other stuff, and it comes with 2 packages because we're going to need one for brew day and one for bottling day. So I'm going to have to order more since I'm adding in a secondary fermenter. I will add that. I'm probably just going to go back to my old classic Star San. So you'll see that on probably bottling day. But where were we? So kettle, check. Extract, brew ingredients, check. Primary fermenter, check. Secondary fermenter, check. Bottling bucket, check. Bottles, check. Bottle dryer, check. Siphon, bottle wand, spoon, thermometer. I think I'm good to go for my inaugural brew in 6 years. We're going back to my roots, just like my very first brew ever. We're just gonna cook it in the kitchen. I'm doing that more for sentiment than anything. I believe I do still have my turkey burner. because I got rid of my brew equipment. I did not get rid of my desire for turkey. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me on this unboxing video for my inaugural brew back into the craft. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today on the unboxing of my new brew supplies. Episode 2 is going to be Brew Day. So I'm excited to get that out to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.